Welcome or welcome back. I hope you are well and have enjoyed this first week of spring. My goal for this video is to show you how to make a simple jewelry display stand. They can be used for craft shows, pop-up shops, and as photo shoot props. This is a budget-friendly option that may work for you if you sell jewelry. So if you're ready, let's get started. Open Design Space and start a new project. Now select a square. Make the size 5 by 8. Change the color to white and place it on the X and Y axis at 0. Select a score line. Make the size 5 and rotate it 90 degrees. We're going to place it on the X at 0 and the Y at 2. Duplicate the score line by going over to the Layers panel and selecting Duplicate. Place this one on the X at 0 and the Y at 4. Duplicate again. Place this one on the X at 0 and the Y at 6. Now select a square. Change the color to white. And we're going to make the size 4.5 by 0.02. And I'm going to place it on the X at 0.25 and the Y at 3. Now this small opening here will be for placing jewelry cards, so it'll fit down in the slot. Now at this point, if you want to add text, images, or an all over design, you can. I'm just going to place text on the front. So I'm going over to text. And I'm using the Cricut Sans font. I'm going to use the writing style. And the font size that I'm going to use, 20. And I'm going to place it on the 3.5 line. And now what I'm going to do is select all of this. And I'm going to center it horizontally. And then select Attach. Now if you wanted to print this, I'll show you example of this. What I'm going to do is select this and I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to detach it. And what I'm going to do is select the square and the text only and attach and then flatten. The score lines fell behind, just click on the square and then go to arrange and then center back, and that'll place everything back on top. And then from here you'll just select all of this and then attach, and that way you'll be able to print this out with the text before the machine scores and cuts. Now what I'm going to do is hide the both of these. So I'm going over to the Layers panel and just selecting the eye next to Attach to hide them. Now if you want to make a longer display, here's how to do that. We're going to go through the same steps. I'm going to select a square. I'm going to make the size of the square 10 by 10. And I'm going to change the color to white. And I'm going to place it on the X and Y axis at 0. Now I'm going to select a score line. I'm going to make the size 10. And I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. And I'm going to place this score line on the X at 0 and the Y at 2. I'm going to duplicate this score line by going over to the Layers panel and selecting Duplicate. And I'm going to place this one on the X at 0 and the Y at 4. I'm going to duplicate the score line. And I'm going to place this one on the X at 0 and the Y at 6. And I'm going to duplicate one more time. And I'm going to place this one on the X at 0 and the Y at 8. Now I'm going to select a square. And just like the other, this square will be for the slot. I'm going to make the size 9.5 by 0.02. And I'm going to place it on the X at 0.25 and the Y at 3. This display is 10 by 10. It exceeds the size for printing, so I will use the pen to draw and write out the text on the front. Now, if you want to add something to the back, you can. I'm going to add my text. I'm still using the Cricut Sans font, the writing style, and the font size I'm going to use. Let's do 20. And I'm going to add space between my letters. Let's go with and I'm going to move this down a little bit. And what I'm going to do now is select all and then center horizontally. I'm going to change the color of this. I'm just going to select all and then attach. Now what I'm going to do is bring back the other two that I made earlier. So I'm going to move this one down here. I'm going over to the layers panel to unhide the other two by selecting the slash through the eye to unhide it. And I'll move this one here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is select Make It, and I'll be back with the results. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what I've shared, like, comment, and subscribe. Drop a comment if there's a topic you'd like to see. Remember, appreciate your progress, keep improving, and I'll see you in the next video.